Hello everyone, this is Gritty Astro calling from South America, the River Plate. So, I hope you're all doing well. Here it's very cold, it's very wintry, and so, I'm trying to keep from the cold. Ugh. I'm sure you guys, English speaking guys, people, are having a nice summer, nice late spring. So send me some warmth from there, okay? Because I love the heat. I do not love so much the cold. Cold, it's beauty, but you know, um, I like it in short doses. Anyway, I hope you're doing well. I'm using a new um, recording app in my phone to see how it goes, quality-wise, and yeah, so today I wanted to do a podcast in what is going to be a new playlist of mine in this channel, Gritty Astro. This new playlist is going to be called Spooky Fabulous because I'm going to that playlist, I'm going to upload podcasts or videos that relate to esoteric stuff, like mysteries, mysticism, like symbolism, weird experiences, everything that is out of the norm, so to speak. Um, so I'm going to call it spooky fabulous because I love that phrase, and it doesn't mean that it is spooky, uh, just that it is esoteric, mysterious, whatever. I like the phrase spooky fabulous because it really applies. It's a loving term for all these topics. So I have the Nicola Bully playlist, where only like videos relating to the Nicola Bully case are going to go there actually. Then I have the history. I'm going to have the history playlist where I upload my history podcasts, and this one is going to go in the Spooky Fabulous playlist. Okay. Um, so the first, I was, because I have so many podcasts in the back burner or in the back pile, waiting to be broadcasted. But I wanted to um, inaugurate, launch this playlist by speaking about like shamanic songs in music. You know, through art, and this includes music, most certainly, you can find uh, like works of art, books, pictures, films, anything that relates to art that can actually change your life forever or have a big impact in your life, for the better. Okay, because oh, and of course, I'm going to speak about when that does the opposite, when it works for your, when it works against you, against your best interests. But mainly I'm going to, delve into the more positive side, as in, things that in art or music, literature, whatever, that change your life for the better, but through an esoteric lens. That is, I'm going to pick a song or a work of art, a book, whatever, and I'm going to go beyond the surface meaning, okay? So, for example, I have this song this song popped in my head like a couple days ago, and it really reminded me that song is one of the songs that I hold in my heart that have opened up doors for me spiritually, mentally, and I have a special place in my heart for them. Okay, so one of those songs is Solsbury Hill by famous singer-writer Peter Gabriel. As you know, Peter Gabriel, it's an English musician, and I like many of his songs. I do not dwell very much in his music, but it doesn't matter, because what matters in this podcast is the fact that Solsbury Hill, that song, has particularly impacted me in a positive way, and it has always, caught my attention. Like, when something like keeps getting your attention because it seems something, strikes out to you. So with this song, I first heard it. This song is an old song. It's from the 70s. And it was on his first, I don't think it was his first solo album, or if it was a single. I don't actually remember, so I'm going to read it. The specs, from Solsbury Hill, from Wikipedia. Solsbury Hill, Peter Gabriel. Okay, so I'm going to read you the specifics in Wikipedia. Here, Wikipedia. And I'm going to just read you, just because it's always good to have the basics, the basic info on anything you want to talk about. So, the song Solsbury Hill is the debut solo single. Sorry, it is a single, it's not an album, it's not part of an album. Let's see how it goes. Solsbury Hill is the debut solo single of English musician Peter Gabriel. He wrote the song about a spiritual experience atop Little Solsbury Hill in Somerset, England, after his departure from the progressive rock band Genesis, of which he had been the lead singer since its inception. I think he was one of the main creators of the band, if not the single main creator of the band. The single was top 20 hit in the UK, peaking at number 13, and reached number 68 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart in 1977. Gabriel has said of the song's meaning, "It's about being prepared to lose what you have for what you might get. It's about letting go." It's very interesting from the start that this saying by Peter Gabriel actually is what I think, but he says it in a very general thing, but it's what he says there is very, it talks about a mystical experience that led him to better his life, that changed his life forever and for the good. Okay, so going on, it says the song is mostly written in 7/4 time, an unusual time signature that has been described as giving the song a constant sense of struggle. The meter settles into 4/4 time only for the least 2 measures of each chorus. It is performed in the key of B major with a tempo of 102 beats per minute, with Gabriel's vocals ranging from how do you say it in English? F. It's called fa sostenido in Spanish. If someone of you is a musician, please tell me when it's not F, but it's the semitone of F. Am I right? Is I semitone after F flat? F. Oh my! Let me. Now I have to go and look for the symbol. F hash. It's called F sharp. Yes, okay, F sharp. I'm not sure if the other one is F flat. I'm not an expert, guys, in music theory or whatever. But yes, F sharp. So that's what I mean. Because I play a little guitar and I know a little bit of music, but very basic. And it says, with Gabriel's vocals ranging from F sharp 3 to G sharp 4. So it's in F sharp 3. Okay, so I tried once to play it, but it's very difficult for me because it has like a rhythm, like you have to be quite proficient, I guess, in practicing that kind of, because it's very like dynamic. Okay, so I tried to play it once, and I think I can play, but slower. But anyway, it doesn't matter. What matters is the basics of the song I want to talk to you about today. So then it goes on about the background and the using soundtracks. But yeah, the thing is, it was the B-side was Moribund, the Burgermeister, and so it's a simple, and it's from the album. Yes, it belongs to an album which is called Car, which is actually, it's not car. I mean, it's not called Car. It's the album Art has a car with Peter Gabriel in it, like he's like dead or sleeping or whatever. It's really weird. And because he didn't want to put a name of the cover, they call it Car. It's very similar to the Beatles' White Album, which actually is not called the White Album, but it's just a white album, and it just says the Beatles. So because you can't say, oh, it's the album The Beatles by the Beatles, it's the White Album. Okay, so this is the same. This album, Peter Gabriel, which is his first album, they call it Car, but it's not called Car actually. There is a car with him like leaning on the windshield. It's seen from outside, and it's like raining, and it only says Peter Gabriel. Okay, but that's it's his first studio album, and that is where the song is located. But the song, it's itself a single. Okay. And it was released on 21st March 1977. Interesting. Okay, and the label is Atco Charisma. And the producer is Bob Ezrin, which also is very well known if you love prog rock, because he produced Pink Floyd, which is one of my, if not my favorite band in the world. Okay, but it produced many great bands in his career, including Peter Gabriel's first album. And this this A-side of this single, which was released in 21st March. It's funny because it was released like when spring in the beginning of spring 1977. So, but it was recorded in 1976. I don't know which month. Probably it was recorded in the winter, which makes more sense to me. And I will make that clear later when I'm saying what the esoteric meaning of this song is. Okay. So, probably was recorded on winter 1976. I hope it was recorded around the winter solstice, because that would make it even more or near the winter solstice, because it would really mean a lot to me, because I link my experience of the song with the winter, not the summer, not the spring. It's like either the fall, winter, maybe early spring, but I would say like maybe early winter. I don't know, but it's just, for me personally, it has like a wintry feel to me. And even though I do not particularly enjoy the cold, I love winter as the aesthetic of winter, the symbolism of winter. It's very rich in symbolism, in meaning, in, it's like winter is a very mysterious period of the year. So yeah, I'm not going to go very much into that, because I want to concentrate on the song Solsbury Hill by Peter Gabriel. So, this song, the first time I heard it, I listened to it, I don't remember exactly, but I think it was in the 90s. It makes sense that it would be in the 90s, because, I mean, from my recollection, my memory, is my first memories of listening to that song and being profoundly moved by it, was in the 90s. Okay, so it probably was in the 90s the first time I heard it, or the first time I actually paid attention to it. And I remember one instance, and I already knew that song, but I remember this particular instance in the was it late 90s, I think, or middle 90s, I don't remember, where I was with friends, and I was very young, and I was with friends, and I don't know why we started listening to that song. I don't know if it came on the radio or somebody played it. I don't know, I don't remember, but I remember that I was in a very particular room, very artistic room, and these friends were very special, very unique, very artistic, and when the song started playing, this friend, started dance, but in a native Indian manner, like a native, like an indigenous kind of dance. And I totally got it, because the rhythm of the song is very particular, and I totally respond to it, because it reminds me, those, if you listen to the song, if you know the song, the drumming, the drums are very like tribe-like. It's like, I don't know what kind of drums he uses, what kind of percussion he uses, but it speaks to me because it actually sounds a little bit South American, because it's very tribal. The drumming, the drone of those very low beat drumming. Okay, and it reminds me a little bit of some natives from here, from Latin America, who actually have rhythms very similar, and they dance to it like in a very specific way, like, you know, like around the fire. It's like very, like it's very ceremonial, and it's beautiful, you know. So I always felt identified with. I mean, when I heard that song, it didn't feel like foreign to me. It felt close to my heart, close to home, because maybe of the drumming, and of course, you know, the fantastic lyrics by Peter Gabriel, his incredible soulful voice, and you know, the melody of the song is amazing. It's just, for me, it's a gem of a song. Okay, and so we were in this room, and this friend starts like dancing, like, you know, as if, you know, they were in a ceremonial dance, you know, like with the natives, you know, so around the fire. And it's, you know, I just went wild, you know. It's like, yeah, it is about that as well, you know. It's a ceremony. It's like a rite of passage, that song. It's about changing who you are. Like when something in your life happens that changes you forever, totally changes the course of your life. I totally get that. And Peter Gabriel himself says in this sentence, like I've said before, he says, it's about being prepared to lose what you have for what you might get. It's about letting go. So it's about to lose what you have, who you are, for something new, for, you know, transforming. It's about transformation, you know. It's when you transform yourself by you know, metaphorical rite of passage. Okay, this happens to all of us, but here Peter Gabriel, he's shown it in a beautiful manner, you know, in this song, in a very poetic way. Yeah, it's about letting go. It's letting go of something about you that needs to go, or things that you have to leave behind, or people that you have to leave behind, in order to grow yourself and discover yourself and be more who you really are, you know, to fulfill your destiny. Okay. So that was one instance when, you know, I thought, yeah, this is like a rite of passage, like a, you know, it's like a powerful, you know, becoming a new self, you know. It's like, it's also, for me, it's about crossing levels, or crossing a door, or crossing realms of reality, when you actually have like in this song, Peter Gabriel, he has like an awakening, like a spiritual, mental awakening, and he decides to totally change what he's doing. They say it's because he wrote this song when he decided to leave Genesis, the band he had formed, which, you know, is a very famous band in the prog rock. In the prog rock, you know, how do you say, in the prog rock groups, you know. So it was a big deal for him, but also, you know, people say, oh, it's just about him, you know, leaving when he left Genesis to pursue his solo career, and it is about that. But there is an esoteric, more in depth, like wider, more profound, more beyond meaning. Okay, and that's the esoteric meaning. So for me personally, the big experience I had regarding this song, I had that one in the late 90s, but then I had this one in the early 2000s, Let me come up with the lyrics. Solsbury Hill, Peter Gabriel lyrics here. Okay, this is just so I have the reference. So for me, for example, for me this is like a totally like shamanic. And shamanic is just a word, okay? It's a word to describe something that changes, transforms you forever, okay? For good, okay? It's like a rite of passage, and this song for me is a rite of passage song. It's a profoundly spiritual song, and mystical as well. That's my personal view, okay? So in the 2000s, early 2000s, I actually went to that Solsbury Hill. Actually went to the one Peter Gabriel went when he had this spiritual experience. It's called Little Solsbury Hill, and that's when I went. I was in England at the time, and it was one of the places I wanted to go, okay, because I wanted to feel what Peter, might have felt. I wanted to have my own experience in that, little Solsbury Hill, because they say that Solsbury Hill, that little mound is very weird, magically, like rituals, like it's very ancient. There are like these spirals on it, like and they were made by, I don't remember now the name of the tribes, but like thousands of years ago, and they are so. Is it thousands? Yeah, I think it is like Stonehenge. I think, I'm not a historian, but I just talk mainly about this song. I talk from the heart, and so this place in England, in Somerset, near Bath, when I went there because I wanted to experience for myself what it meant to go there as it was like a spiritual journey, so to speak. For me, I wanted it to be like that. So, and I was very curious, and I wanted obviously to know about the place because it's very mystical. It has lots of like lore about it, and they say also that UFOs have been, like, people have made contact or have seen UFOs in that area, and so some other people say that it's like a power line laid by crosses through there, and so it's very powerful energetically. Whatever the reason, it's a very special place, and Peter Gabriel there had a profound transforming experience there. So I went there and I climbed it up. It was so perfect because it wasn't during the day. It was actually at the end of the day, towards dusk and night, and so it was one of the most magical, powerful things that I ever felt in a natural place. Okay. First of all, I felt the energy of the place. It had this, I don't know, like as if the air was filled with, I don't know, like with something, It wasn't just your normal air or normal atmosphere. It had a sort of spiritual or mystical presence to it, okay? It had, when you go to a power line near, walk near. Have you ever walked near a power line, like those power line towers, electrical towers, and you feel like this buzzing inside of you, It's like you feel like, oh, like your hairs in the back, of your neck stand up, and you feel weird. Like you're charged up. Yes, that's the feeling. It's like you feel charged. Charged up, and it's like a powerful, like yeah, it is like a powerful battery where you get charged. You feel this charge in the air. Like it's like also like before a storm, like an electrical storm. You feel in the air changes, and you feel just the nature of the air, of the atmosphere changes, and you feel it in your bones. Okay, you feel it also in your mind, and that's what I felt when I went. When I went up Solsbury Hill, little Solsbury Hill, and so the energy changed, and it was beginning to be dusk, and it was I remember that it wasn't winter, but it was towards the spring. It was like late winter, okay? I remember that, and it was so magical, and the surrounding area, when you go up to the little Solsbury Hill, you can see the scenery is so breathtaking, because the air is so charged with something mystical there, something strange, okay? Something that is not common when you go to other common places in the city, whatever, you feel a powerful charge there, and you can see, the beautiful scenery. It's like you are in another time, really. It's like you time travel there. It's like I felt like I was like long ago, far away, like in another time. Okay, it could be also. I mean, I'm not sure about this. I mean, I'm sure about how I felt and what I experienced. I'm not sure about, whether there are UFOs there, because I didn't see any UFOs, but I wasn't concentrated on that. What I wanted to feel was my own experience, just being there, okay, taking it all in, okay, the breathtaking surrounding, like you could see all, the city of Bath. It was so incredibly beautiful, and dusk starts to come in, the dusk, the sunset, and it was too far out, and I wasn't like stoned or anything. I was like totally sober, but I've always had this spiritual, like mystical antenna, so to speak, so I can't describe. There are experiences that you can't actually describe in words. But yeah, it was like something was out there, and I felt like there was something else there, okay, but not just there, that it was exclusive to there. It was like it was just a part of the big there. It was part of the big beyond, for me personally, it felt like you were in the threshold of another dimension, okay, of being. It was extremely powerful for me. I was really happy to have had that experience, because I needed to have it. I needed to go there, and actually, while I went there, I remembered, the song Solsbury Hill, okay, the lyrics, and so it was an incredible experience that actually contributed for the betterment of my life, of my journey. All our lives are journeys, okay, and so yeah, I wanted to talk about that, and then what I want to talk about is the lyrics. I want to read you the lyrics of Solsbury Hill by Peter Gabriel. And I'm going to like read from it or extract from it my esoteric meaning, okay? The esoteric meaning for me that I have, okay, that I get. So it says, climbing up on Solsbury Hill, I could see the city light. Okay, yes, exactly. So it was night when he climbed the Solsbury Hill. It was night or dusk, like I did later on, okay? He could see the city light, so he could see the city of Bath, okay, which is a beautiful sight, and I really recommend you to go there if you have the inclination for these kind of things. So he went in the night, and he could see the city of Bath, okay, the light of the city of Bath. He says, wind was blowing, time stood still, eagle flew out of the night. So wind was blowing. Where I remember, because when you mount up that hill, the wind is really blowy. It really, the wind it was quite it was like a strong breeze, okay? And he says time stood still, because it's like I was saying, it's like you enter another dimension, okay? So it's like there's no, your time, your terrestrial time is not the time there. It's not the same time, okay? It's another state of beings. It's another dimension. That's what I felt personally. So I understand when he says time stood still. It's like nothing else exists. It's like you are in a moment of eternity, okay, so to speak. It's the best way I can describe it. Like there is no time, because time stands still. There is no time, okay? And it says eagle flew out of the night. So what I glean from this is like either he saw an eagle or a kind of English eagle flowing out of the night, or through the night or whatever. He saw an eagle. And from my mystical experiences, when I see here, I live in a beautiful place near the beach, and I'm surrounded by pines, big trees, and there are lots of wonderful birds, and there are sometimes the South American eagle like flies overhead, overhead here, and I can see it's so majestic, so beautiful, and it really is a big symbol for liberty, for freedom, for empowerment, for far sight. When you can see, you detach from things to see them from a different perspective. It means actually the symbolism of the eagle is about perspective, of seeing things from afar. So you have a more a truer perspective of things, and you don't get you don't get caught in the little things of life, in the little problems, but you have a wider perspective of things. That's what the eagle has, the symbol of the eagle, okay? So if he says that, it's because the eagle that he saw, or he thought he saw, it doesn't matter that he imagined whatever, for him, for everyone, that means, that also when the eagle appears in your sight, it means, that it's a symbol of be strong, be free, don't be a slave to anything, to anyone, don't get attached to even your own preconceptions about how things are, but at the same time, keep your own personality, it's about empowerment and freedom, okay? It's also about being smart, and seeing things from a distance, okay? So thinking things through, like planning, like it's like the eagle, when they prey, when they eat, they prowl, for their prey, and they just fly down and just catch its prey, and so the eagle is far-sighted, and she has to be very patient, okay, to get her food. But when she does, she's very accurate, okay. I don't think she ever misses, or she rarely misses her target. So it's about, yes, about patience, and and empowerment and a clear mind. So I have gleaned all of that just from the first paragraph of the song, of the lyrics. So I'm going to the second. Okay, he says, he was something to observe. Came in close, I heard a voice. Standing, stretching every nerve, had to listen, had no choice. So, after the eagle, he sees the eagle, he says he was something to observe. He either refers to the eagle or to someone who appeared next to him, okay? Someone or a being, an entity, whatever, okay? It could be his higher self. It's someone else, an entity that appears, and he observes it. And he says, he came in close, I heard a voice, or he came in close, I heard a voice. So something was whispering to him, talking to him. He said, standing, stretching every nerve, I had to listen, had no choice. So he was raptured. He was, I have had these experiences when you actually, when you are in a spiritual or mystical experience, it's like sometimes you actually receive information. I have had this happen to me many times, and there have been profound experiences. And he listens to that presence that appears next to him or in front of him, I don't know. And he's stretching every nerve, so he's very nervous. He's like, oh my God, maybe he's not used to this, okay? So, but he stands there because he has no choice. He has to listen. So that's his higher self telling him to listen to what you're going to hear, because this is going to be important for your life, okay? So continuing on, he says, I did not believe the information, just had to trust imagination, my heart going boom, boom, boom. Son, he said, grab your things, I've come to take you home. So this one is like, wow, it could be many things. For me, it's this presence. For me, it's the higher spirit. Now, for me, it's like God, or in some presence, like in the shape of whatever appeared to him, and or his guiding, or his spiritual guide, whatever you want to call it, okay. Peter did not believe the information that this being was telling him, and he said just had to trust imagination. Like maybe he thinks this is just a product of his imagination, but he has to trust it, whatever it is. And his heart was pounding. It says my heart was going boom, boom, boom. Like his heart was pounding. He was like, oh my God, and then he heard that the boy says, son, he said, grab your things, I've come to take you home. This could be seen as an abduction, as an alien abduction. I mean, I have always had that image. It's not the only image I have in my head regarding the song, but it's one of the many images that may come, like this is an UFO, and this little Solsbury Hill is famous for UFO sightings. So maybe he thought he was being abducted, okay? So this entity, maybe this alien, says, son, grab your things, I've come to take you home, okay? But for me, really, it means like his spiritual guide, God, his higher self, whatever, um, he's telling him, like, let's go home. Like, let's go home. What is, home? Home is like your real self, you know. Um, it's also for me, home is heaven. It's the next realm after physical death, okay? And maybe he thought he was dying because of the experience. Maybe he had taken shrooms or LSD. Who knows? You know, he probably did, but he probably didn't because I have had those experiences completely sober. So yeah, I mean, it could go either way. But maybe he was on shrooms, and he thought he saw like a UFO, like an alien saying, going to take you home, okay? So then in the following paragraph, Peter Gabriel goes into he goes into his personal ordeals at the moment. He says to keep in silence. I resigned. My friends would think I was a nut. Turning water into wine, open doors would soon be shut. Okay, so here what is interesting that he says turning water into wine, which is it comes from the New Testament in the Bible. It's about Jesus Christ, how he turned water into wine, and that means in his, I don't know if he's talking about that because he had this God experience on the hill, or he's just using it as a metaphorical, for what he was doing, like he was going to turn that experience, like that sour experience that he's been having at his, decaying old life in Genesis, in the band Genesis, and he just feels in a rut. He feels stuck. He doesn't want to be anymore there. And so, or maybe he's referring to in Genesis, he was turning water into wine, like he was like doing really well. But he says that if he leaves the band, open doors will soon be shut. Okay, but he says that this song is about just letting go of something to go into a new thing, so he knows that if he leaves, like the open doors of, money and fame or, popularity was going to go shut, okay? And his friends would think that he was crazy for resigning or for keeping silent, because he says to keep in silence. I resigned. So he thought I think he was struggling between like saying what he meant or keeping silent, and just, struggle a little bit more to see where he would go. And then he said, so I went from day to day, though my life was in a rut, till I thought of what I'd say, which connection I should cut. So he's going back in his mind to this problem that he has, and he says that his life was in a rut, like he was stuck in his growth, in his pathway to self-realization, to being his most authentic self, I think. And then he thinks of what he had said, which connection he should cut. So he comes back again to the thought of, okay, I have to cut people off my life, connections in the business, whatever that's holding me back, okay? And then he says, I was feeling, and then he says, I was feeling part of the scenery. I walked right out of the machinery, my heart going boom, boom, boom. Hey, he said, grab your things, I've come to take you home. Hey, back home. So he returns to that scene on Solsbury Hill, where he was having that mystical experience, okay, of receiving an information that opened his eyes through a supernatural being or presence. And for me, that presence is God, or like the God spirit. And he goes back to that feeling when he went there and had that eye-opening moment. And that's why he says, I was feeling part of the scenery. He was feeling one with the scenery, okay, one with God, okay, one with that mystical experience. He felt right in that experience, okay. He says, I walked right out of the machinery. Now the machinery is a powerful word, how you say, metaphor for, the rat race, the slavery of having to go, having to do something you don't like in order to survive, the entrapment of daily life, of existence, in this world. And that's the machinery. Or another word for machinery is the system in which we are living, okay. And that word machinery brings me to makes me recall that wonderful song by Pink Floyd in their wonderful album Wish You Were Here, which is called Welcome to the Machine. And if you go and listen to the lyrics of that song, which is incredible song, you see that Pink Floyd, a huge band, are talking about the machine. The machine is the entertainment industry, and how it enslaves you, okay, basically. So it's a machine, it has no soul. It just churns out products, okay, profit for profit's sake. So he was feeling one with the scenery, that is, with the mystical experience, with the place, in Solsbury Hill. And he walked out of the machinery. He decided to leave that obnoxious entertainment industry or whatever, but the machinery is like the system, okay, that enslaves you, and you can't be really yourself, really who you are meant to be, okay. So his heart was going boom, boom, boom. So because again, he's like feeling there again on Solsbury Hill, having that mystical experience, and he's like, it's like acceleration, but it's also, adrenaline, because you're a little bit scared, especially when the first times you have like deep spiritual or mystical experiences, you can feel, a little bit scared, a little bit like, like you're petrified in a way, but, you need to listen, okay? So his heart was racing, boom, boom, boom. He was pumping blood, and then it says, hey, he said, grab your things, I've come to take you home. Hey, back home. So it's a recall of the previous, when he's on Solsbury Hill, and the presence, the spirit says, grab your things, I've come to take you home. And people may think that they are UFOs, aliens, whatever, but what I think it is, it's God's spirit telling him, like, I'm going to show you the true way, your true path to your true destiny, and it's going to improve your life. You're going to be more authentic, more happy, and the phrase, I've come to take you home, back home, it means that he wasn't at home in that situation, in that struggle where he couldn't feel himself, he wasn't being himself. So it's I need to go back to the root of who you really are, okay? It's going back to that place that it's always there, and it's your real self, okay? So then it goes on. When illusion spin her net, I'm never where I want to be. And liberty, she pirouette when I think that I am free. So here he's being like he's reflecting, you know, he's being a little bit philosophical about his life, because he says when illusion spin her net, that means the illusion in this context means, you know, the illusion of this world, okay? It doesn't mean yes, it's an illusion. It's like it's a deceit, a deceitful thing, or a self-deceit. It's a lie, okay? So he's referring to illusion as a lie, as the fake, you know, like something that is like something that is deceiving, okay? So that's an illusion, okay? So when illusion spin her net, that is, it's like illusion spins a net around you and enslaves you, okay, from your true purpose in life. That's what I think, okay? And he says, when illusion spin her net, I'm never when I want to be. I'm never where I want to be. Yeah, because when you are in the illusion, and when you are inside what people expects you to do, what society expects you to be, your family, whatever, then you're not being yourself. You're not where you want to be, okay? It's like you feel at odds with the world, with your life. Why? Because you're being someone who you aren't, okay? You're just fulfilling someone else's or something else's expectations of you, okay? So, you know, that keeps you from reaching your real you, okay? So there he goes. I love that part of the lyrics. So illusion is all, it's the nature of this world, okay, of this society, of this system, of this machinery, okay, that we live in. So you gotta get out of the illusion. And in order to get out of the illusion, Peter Gabriel, in this instance, he had to have that mystical experience. And why did he have it? Because he searched for it. I'm sure he was guided to go to, I don't know the exact circumstances that made him go up Solsbury Hill, but I'm sure it was he felt guided to do so by his inner self, by spirit, whatever, or, you know, he planned it. He said, I'm going to go there because they say it's very spiritual, mystical, whatever, and I'm going to, you know, feel whatever I feel. And he had this huge realization, this huge initiation into a new chapter of his life. He opened his eyes into his true self, okay? And he also opened his eyes to the lie of the world, to the illusion that we live in, okay? It's also called Maya in Indian religions. It's the lying nature of reality of this world, okay? It's like Maya is the illusion, it's the world, it's the system, it's the machinery that keeps you enslaved, so to speak, okay? It keeps you from being your real self and from being from fulfilling your true fate, okay, your fate, okay? So, and then he says, and liberty, she pirouette when I think that I am free. So I think there he's like, it's like you also have to when you think you are free, you really have to check yourself and really actually dig deep and say, am I really free? You know, it's like liberty, she pirouette. It's like, I don't know if like she's mocking him because, you know, when he thinks he's free, he actually isn't. Okay, so maybe that's what it's all about. And then he says in the next paragraph, he says, watched by empty silhouettes who close their eyes but still can see. No one taught them etiquette. I will show another me. So for me, that means that the empty silhouettes is the spirit of God, or his guides, whatever, is what he met at the Solsbury Hill, okay, that guided him, that spoke to him, okay, that enlightened him, okay. So it's like he's being guarded by those empty silhouettes because they are like, you can't see them, okay, or maybe he just saw, I don't know, like like a silhouette. Maybe he saw on Solsbury Hill, I don't know. I think he saw like a shape of someone, but for me it's more like spirit, okay. And the empty silhouettes, for me, it's spirit because you can't see them, and they are, you know, very, it's like the poetic metaphor here is like empty silhouettes, okay. And and he says watched by empty silhouettes, so the empty silhouettes, the spirit, is watching over him, but for me it's in a good way. They are guiding him. And he says they who close their eyes but still can see, so they see even though they don't need their eyes, because I don't think they have their eyes, because they are spirit, okay. So they see everything, okay. And he says no one taught them etiquette, so that it means that by etiquette he means these social niceties that are fake, okay. So he's implying that the spirit that spoke to him spoke him without etiquette. It was direct, it was very clear to him, okay. It didn't play with social niceties, right, because it's not from this world, right, it's from the spirit world, it's from God's world or God's dimension or whatever. And he says, I will show another me. So upon reflecting this, like his guides are guiding him, he says, I will show another me. So he's going to finally show what he needs to show, his real self, okay, to the struggle, to the situation he was in, to the problem he was in, that he needs to break through from. And in the last paragraph it says, today I don't need a replacement. I'll tell them what the smile on my face meant. My heart going boom, boom, boom. Hey, I said, you can keep my things. They've come to take me home. Okay, so now I think is the final confrontation. Is like when he finally decides to confront these people in the system, in the entertainment system or whatever, and he confronts them with his real self, with the self he actually wants to be, because it's his authentic self. And he's like a bit cheeky here in this paragraph. He says, I'll tell them what the smile on my face meant. It's like, yeah, why are you smiling about? And he's going to say, yeah, I'm going to tell you what I'm smiling about, okay? So I'm free, I'm quitting, you know, I'm getting out of this machinery, okay? I'm going solo, because after that, you know, it's like they say recounts when he left Genesis, and everyone was shocked that he left, you know, the prog rock scene, you know, to pursue his solo true career, okay, at that time, you know. And so he needed to really be brave and confront. But in a more esoteric sense, it means that you need to confront what scares you. You need to confront that scary situation, that problematic situation. You have to confront it head on, face to face, and you have to actually say and demonstrate, no, this is me now. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm walking away. And you walk away, but you make sure that they heard you, okay, that they heard your truth, so there's no misunderstanding, okay, because when you are walking into your true self, there can't be no misunderstandings. You have to be clear with yourself and with others that are involved in the situation, okay. And then he repeats, my heart going boom boom boom, because he's still in this state that he was in Solsbury Hill, okay. He still has inside himself this spiritual experience, okay, that it's guiding him, the empty silhouette who can't see even that, even though their eyes are closed, okay. And he says, hey, I said, you can keep my things, they've come to take me home. That's the final phrase of the song. Hey, I said, you can keep my things, they've come to take me home. So it's like, keep my things, I don't give a fuck about, all the perks or the contracts, the money, whatever, just keep it, I don't give a fuck. They've come to take me home. And he means by they, I think he means God, the spirit, okay. And he says, when he says they, it's like we think, okay, aliens, UFOs, other people, like more than one. Maybe he felt like that when he was in Solsbury Hill, that it's like it's like a host of spirits, it's like maybe who knows what he saw, maybe he saw, I don't know, the angels, like, I don't know, like the millions of, maybe he saw his ancestors, because this song also relates to ancestors, okay. If you, like I say, if you really listen to the song, you listen to the percussion, the drums there, and they are very like tribal, they are very like ancient, okay. It reminds me of some of South American tribal sounds, ceremonial sounds, those drums and the beats, boom, 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 something like that. It's like, it's very, I can relate to that, and it's very tribal. It's like very much about your ancestors. It takes you to your ancestors, like to the birth, to the ancestors that are guiding you. Maybe he's referring to his ancestors, okay. They have come to take me home, like to my true home, my true self, okay. He's peeling back all the fakery, all the things that are not him, in order to find his real self, okay. So, and then if you listen to the song, it's quite epic, the song is very epic. It's like going into a battle, but it's like spiritual and mystical as well. It's very beautiful, the way the guitar sounds is very mystical, and also the drumming, the beats is very like, boom boom boom. It's like a, like a tribe dance, around the fire. Like, it's very like spiritual, very religious, very tribal. And then you have, the lyrics, of course, which are very transcendent. He has like this spiritual awakening on Solsbury Hill, and I think that, and then the song ends with him like going nuts. Like, if you hear the ending of the song, it's like the drums like pick up. It's like all, drums, and it's like this. He starts like shouting and just gibberish, but he's like in this state of trance. It's like he finally melts with his tribe, with his true self, with his true spirits, with his true guides, right? And so he loses himself in the in this beautiful dance, when you're free, where you're free to be yourself, to just pick up and to dance, so I think it's beautiful and very profound. And what I take from this is is that I think we all have our own purpose in life, our own fate, and we all have something to express in this life, okay? Uh, and some people really truly search for it, and when they truly search for it, they will find it. Uh, some people don't search for it and they find it just by a miracle, so to speak, and some people never find it, okay? They live and die without ever knowing their true self because they didn't have the opportunity, or they didn't seek enough, for that mystical eye opener to happen in their lives. I think that if you seek for it, you will find it. That's been my experience anyway. I can only speak for myself, and I can speak about other people who have went through that. And it's amazing. It's very profound. It speaks of life doesn't have to be all dreary and sad and doom and gloom. It can be like that because we live in this world, but it doesn't have to be in the long term. It doesn't have to be what your mind is made of, what your spirit is made of. You can actually transcend that, okay? So I picked this song because I think, I mean, I don't do it justice. I don't do it justice. I mean, the song is so much more. It's one of those, like I said before, it's one of those things that are undescribable. You can't find you can't find the words, the actual words to describe it. But I hope that you have got what I meant. You get what I mean, and that you get something good from this. And that's it. That's my first post launching the Creepy Fabulous playlist by Creepy Astro. So this channel is new, is slowly growing. I thank you guys. If you like this content, please subscribe. And if you would like to support my channel, you can do so by donating at coffee.com/gritty, okay? And you can see all the things that that I have in there, how you can help me grow this channel, okay? So subscribe, like, comment, and I wish you a great evening. Here's actually like because it's nearly winter here, it's like, ooh, night is upon me. And I love the nighttime, the dusk. So it reminds me of Solsbury Hill. So if I don't see you, have a great morning, a great afternoon, good evening, and good night. Talk to you soon in the next one. God bless you. Bye.